Hey, it's James. Welcome back to the channel. So glad you are here. Uh, wow, I saw a video earlier. Full disclosure, it's Sunday, but I'm not going to release this video until Tuesday. Not by Sight News was talking about an interview that Laura Lynn Tyler Thompson did with Jonathan and Susie Lamb, and I am just stunned. I didn't think it could get any worse, but it has. According to the interview, Jonathan was completely left out of the will. Completely. I'm not completely surprised. I mean, after all, it is true that that Marcus did have an affair. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that my understanding of the whole situation is at least he did apologize. They sought counseling, and he tried to make amends. It just stuns. Jonathan referred to an old will, and I guess it got updated later in 2005. That 100% of the money went, if anything happened to Marcus, would go to Joni. It's just so sad what I'm hearing. Apparently, after Jonathan refused to uh, give his blessing to this new marriage, or it may have been after he got. I don't know if that's when it happened or when he got fired, but ultimately Joni, they decided to take away the company car. And Laura Lynn Tyler Thompson made a great point during the interview. She said, if Joni had not pushed the positive comment about Joni and Doug Weiss getting married, we may not even be here. If she had just told them, it's like, you don't have to like Doug, but don't say anything negative about him on the air, and left it alone, Jonathan and Susie might still actually be on Daystar. It's weird. Jonathan also caught security from Daystar putting a tracking device on his car. Is this a new policy? So since I thought you, as believers, we trust in God, but you want to put tracking devices on people's cars? Jonathan believed that this was a Doug Weiss move. And the more I hear about Doug Weiss, the less I like. And as someone who counsels people, this one really disturbs me. And understand when I talk about counseling someone as a chaplain, I'm not a licensed professional counselor. Okay, I just want to make that abundantly clear. There's certain things I can do, and once I reach that threshold, once I reach the limits of what I'm capable of doing, or I should say the limits of my discipline, then I refer them to an LPC. So let's just be clear about that one. Because I don't think Doug Weiss has limits. I don't think he has boundaries. It says here that during the interview, Jonathan said that Doug Weiss counseled both Joni and Marcus Lamb. So these people were telling you about the problems in their marriage. And then slowly over time, Doug Weiss went from being counselor to boyfriend to husband? Huh? How did that happen? I mean, ethically, the only way that can happen is if you have to stop someone and say, look, I'm starting to have feelings for you. I can't be your counselor anymore. You need to find someone else. And then that counseling relationship ends, and then the romantic relationship begins. But you have to be very clear that you're not trying to do both. And this is something I learned from a very liberal professor, a very wise professor, who said to me a long time ago, you cannot wear two hats at the same time. And he was talking to the single people in the room, to the people going through seminary. And he said, you can't be someone's boyfriend and their pastor at the same time. If you're interested in someone, that person needs to leave and go to another church and actually get pastoral counseling from another minister. And if you get married, then obviously she can come to your church. But Doug Weiss didn't do that. And I have a real problem with that one. That's the one that sticks out more than anything else, is that type of behavior lacks ethics. And then also in the, I just put LLTT in my notes because I kept saying Laura Lynn Tyler Thompson. In this interview, there was a private investigator following Jonathan and Susie, and one day, here recently, Jonathan confronted this creep. And he's a creep. Why would Daystar hire a a private investigator? Apparently he has a purple Camaro. Well, Jonathan got his license plate and gave the license plate to the Trinity Foundation, and they are private investigators. Legitimate private investigators. So hopefully they can get this guy to stop following Jonathan and Susie. And Daystar, shame on you. If you're paying people to follow Jonathan and Susie Lamb around, if you really have a problem with what they're doing, this is a very simple fix. Because you got Rachel Lamb Brown going out defending Joni and her new husband, and then you got Jonathan and Susie trying to stick up for their kid, who allegedly was abused. And by the way, Joni, that's your grandchild. All it takes is a third-party investigator to clear this up. And then the saga is even deeper, because then you have Lisa Weiss, who, according to the same interview, Lisa wanted to get back with Doug. And now this is unconfirmed. All we have is the interview to go on. But I believe Jonathan and Susie. Susie was told that Lisa was made to sign a non-disclosure agreement and was given $2 million to keep silent. Why would you pay somebody that much money to keep quiet? Apparently, Doug threw away 30 years of marriage to be with Joni. Don't you see? This is not behavior in line with somebody who's in ministry. It's shady stuff. Now, if they're willing to do a third-party investigation and clear the air, let's find out who Pete is for real. If he's not a direct child of, or son-in-law or daughter-in-law of Joni Lamb, if he's just a distant relative that people are just covering up for, let's find out. And if people can vouch for him and say that he didn't do anything, I have no doubt in my mind that as big a house as Joni Lamb has, they probably have security cameras. Think about that one. If there are security cameras, and there's clear footage that this Pete, walked in the room, saw the child changing, and was about to leave, and then Jonathan walks in and goes, "What are you doing?" And he hadn't touched the kid and hadn't done anything to the kid. Well, the video would be very clear, and the video would clear Pete just like that. But there's no footage being shown because everything has to be hush hush. That's why people don't trust you, Daystar. If you would just be proactive and do this third-party investigation that I and others have asked for, you could clear Pete's name. If he did nothing wrong, do the third-party investigation. Let's interview everybody involved, find out what really happened. So, anyway, if you are new, please hit like and subscribe. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Not By Sight News for posting that video about Laura Lynn Tyler Thompson's interview. I still haven't had a chance to listen. I'm honestly going to look at the stuff that Rachel Lamb Brown is saying. I kind of have a feeling I know what I'm going to see, but I'm going to be open, and I'm going to be open-minded and go from there. So until tomorrow, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.